It's been about 2.5 years since I've gotten my Nikon D3300. It's also been 2.5 years since I made a dedicated review on it, so it's about time I made a new one. In short, this camera is fantastic, in its own way. It's an entry-level DSLR, and one of the most basic out of Nikon's selection. It's also one generation old, now that the D3400 is the new successor. However, there is one major thing I like better about this camera than the newer D3400. It's the fact that it has a microphone jack, whereas the D3400 doesn't. But I'll get more into the video capabilities later. I want to begin on usability and ergonomics. This camera is primarily aimed at beginners. With a nice big bright GUI on the back of the screen, it gives beginners an easier time trying to work the camera, such as the aperture, whereas based on the f-stop, it adjusts the animation, giving viewers an easier understanding. Ergonomically, it's not too bad. However, it's quite a small camera. You might think, what are you talking about? This thing is way bigger than any camera that I've used. But compare this to a proper DSLR, like a 5D, and this thing feels quite tiny compared to that. Luckily, the grip isn't too bad. A little shallow for my taste, but not too bad. All the buttons are placed where you would expect. In all, I have no major issues with ergonomics. But what about the body itself?
The body is made out of polycarbonate plastics. Can you blame it at this price point? However, it hasn't given me any issues, except for one, and that is the fact that it is not weather sealed. Can you blame it though? It's not a 1DX Mark II either.
This camera is supporting a 24.2 megapixel APS-C sensor by Sony. It's a good sensor, and at 24.2 megapixels, it has plenty of resolution for just about everything, but not too much that it might slow down your computer while editing photos. ISO performance is not that great if I'm honest. In my experience, anything above 1600 just throws up a lot of bad noise on the image. Video. Let's talk about video. In short, it's not too bad. On paper at least. You can record 1080p up to 60 FPS at a maximum bitrate of 24 megabits per second. Hardly a high bitrate suitable for grading, however it does save up on a lot of space. And despite what I said, it's actually pretty darn gradable. Nikon packs a surprising amount of information into this low bitrate. But specs aside, really what matters more than anything when capturing good video with this camera is the light. To give you a comparison, this is a video I recorded a while ago, and here's another video that I recorded not too long ago. Same lens, same camera, but different light. Obviously, the newer video looks way better. Enough said. As far as cameras go, this is a slightly cheaper, more basic model, but this camera made my YouTube channel and gave me the passion for filmmaking and photography. And you can easily pick one up for under $500 or less. Tell me in the comments what you think. But as far as I'm concerned, you can do a lot worse than the Nikon D3300.